Hello, everyone. It's so good to see you. Oh my goodness, we're on the other side of summer.
Yeah.
I know. People are going to start saying summer's over, and it makes me cringe because technically we still have a few more days, but I know.
We do. We have a couple more weeks.
We have until my birthday. Did you know that? The first
Your
day
birthday?
You're
born on the autumnal equinox?
I've always been annoyed that my parents didn't name me Autumn. Wouldn't that have been a cool name?
It would have been, but your coloration is not of an
I'm not
autumn. You're more of a spring. Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Yes. Ivory snow and the whole situation. But you could have been autumn-esque. And for the purposes of this conversation today, we will call you Autumn. Well, I mean, it is terrific to be here with you, ladies, and welcome everyone to the Pipeline, where we are opening doors and closing business. And we are thrilled today because I love the graphics, Lorena. You are amazing.
She is.
Today, we're going to talk about collaborating and how do you build your pipeline through collaboration, leveraging sponsorships. Like, how does all this magic happen? But before we do that, I want to introduce my cohorts, my partners in crime, my ride or die ladies for the pipeline.
Look how she edited that out to make it nice and professional. That was really good.
Sometimes we have to self-edit, and that's not always a skill set of mine. So I'm Vicki, Harte, Director of Client Engagement at Paradigm Marketing and Design, where I work with our clients on marketing and websites. And I'm going to pass it over to my delicious cohort, Lorena.
And
I don't know where you are in this because
where we are in the graphic. And I'm Lorena Mosquera, also with Paradigm Marketing and Design, and I am the workflow strategist here. And workflow is really all about taking human behavior and taking technology, blending the two together to create efficiencies so that we can make data-driven decisions rather than just going off of our gut. And then, of course, we have our lovely Kate Conroy.
Not Autumn, but Kate Conroy. Yes, indeed.
Autumn Conroy.
Yes. Hi, everyone. With NJBIA, I am Vice President of Strategic Partnerships. Along with an amazing team at BIA, I run the events department, and I help members figure out how to spend their marketing dollars when they're ready to start getting some additional visibility through speaking opportunities or sponsorships or TV show appearances, podcast episodes, all the things. It's a wonderful life. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, you made me think of Christmas. I'm just going to take that thought away for a second.
We went right from autumn to Christmas.
And you went all the way to Christmas?
Let me tell you, I've already done some of my shopping already, just so you know. So, but to keep us on track, which I'm not famous for, this is a perfect example of collaboration, which is our topic for today. Yeah. And when we talk about, our founder, our Paradigm, Rachel Durkin, always talks about invite people onto your magic carpet and let's ride together. It's like hopping on a rocket ship. It's riding on your magic carpet. It's how do you work together with businesses, and our collaboration with NJBIA is an exemplary story. I mean, it is a case study within itself. I mean, when we talk about how Table for Four came together and how the business growth series came together and the roundtables and all of these wonderful collaborations that we've done as a result of the pandemic, and we are carrying them with fervor and with great success and results out of the pandemic. And so, I mean, this is a great way to kick off.
Isn't that the word symbiotic relationship or whatever that was when we learned in high school, right? Did that sound right? But it's benefiting both organizations in ways that we would not be able to do by ourselves, because we really are able to tap into audiences and experts, subject matter experts in fields that we normally maybe don't necessarily have direct access to. So it has been truly, truly remarkable to see the evolution of that, how it started with just, Table for Four because of a necessity and a need to keep, networking happening, and how it's evolved.
And the thing is, I love that you just said networking, because none of it would have happened if we hadn't met each other at a networking event. 5 years ago?
Probably, give or take, yeah. 5 or 6
Something
years
like
ago.
that.
I remember sitting next to you the very first networking event that I was at a women in business event at a committee, and we were talking about curly hair.
We were.
Like, literally, we started talking about curly hair, and from that built, what a random topic. But which hair products do you use, and how do you do this, and how do you do that? Because nobody knows you have curly hair, and you straighten that out.
Straighten it, because it's not nice curly hair like your curly hair. It's bad curly hair.
I'm a curly girl too, Kate. People would not know that I could look like Lorena with one.
I would never have guessed. But it just goes to show that you never know who you're going to meet. Yeah. And it also proves the point that you can skip the work talk at a networking event. You can talk about other things to build a relationship. I once started a conversation with a woman. I knew who she was and I wanted to get to know her, but I didn't want to jump down her throat and be like, I need your business. I want your business. Instead,
strategy doesn't work.
Yeah. Instead, yeah. I was like, I love your purse. Where did you get that? It's so interesting. And she was like, oh, well, let me tell you about this purse. Because, you wear a statement purse because you want people to notice it and talk about it. So not to go down a rabbit hole. I know that we're talking about collaboration today and not necessarily networking, but it all does start with networking.
It does, because without it, we wouldn't have had the relationship. We wouldn't have thought of who can we tap into for, again, those subject matter experts, or for the audience that we're looking to get. Who could we partner with to really get something going? And if it hadn't been because of that, random relationship that you've had with Rachel, that you've had with Vicki, that you've had with me, the whole energy and the whole thing wouldn't have gone as well as
I know.
it has.
And the more you get to know somebody, the more top of mind that they are. So then when you start to brainstorm with your colleagues and you're like, who would be a good partner for this project? Oh, I know. You know who would be great? Paradigm. They'd be great.
That was such like an amazing tie-in, because really what you talk about is one, when you're in your business, having resources that can round out your clients' docket when they have something, and you're so resourceful because you're like, oh, I know someone who does that. Oh, who does? Do you happen to know somebody who can help me with my benefits? I'm a small business. Well, I happen to know somebody who can help you with that.
Totally.
So it's like that, but that brings to my point, my next point, which is really talking about when you're looking for collaboration opportunities, it's looking, as you're making your friends out in networking, it's who has the similar audience as you do, and making sure where you're not competing with each other, but you both bring value to the relationship. So when you're like building,
not necessarily the same audience, right? But also who has tie-ins to that audience that you're looking to
Absolutely. Even if it's an extension, that's an excellent point, Lorena. Because we all know networking is not, and I know networking is part of our conversation here today, but networking is never linear. So it's you never know who you're talking to.
You never know who you don't know.
Who you don't know. And I just came from, I'm a member of a closed networking group. And their whole thing is, every one person comes with 300 to 500 connections. Yeah. Anybody who networks is coming with that to the table. And then you start thinking of the possibilities. But to the point, getting back to my point, it's when you're aligning yourself with who are your people, and it's making sure for anything collaboration, whether you're running a webinar, whether you're, doing a panel discussion, whether you want to, there's a prospect that you both could bring value to, and maybe you join forces to be able to find different entry points to get in. It's about having that similarity, like to saying, okay, we have a similar target audience, so let's build our party, because I'm talking to the same people that you want to talk to. You're talking to the same people that I want to talk to. That's really when you're starting to narrow down in your networking funnel. Going wide and knowing those people who have extensions is amazing and actually so powerful. But having those people who are talking to the same people and can say, hey, have you ever considered, is a great
totally agree.
When you're doing collaborations, I mean, one of the greatest things of collaborating is that you're growing your marketing to their folks as well, right? So when you're talking about I may only have a list hypothetically of 1,000 people in my email distribution, but somebody else has 2,000 people. Well, now combined, you have the power of 3,000 email addresses that you can reach out to share information. So combining the resources. So it's not just about having the same audience, but it's the fact that you're combining resources and the strengths and the skill sets that others have, right? So one of the reasons that our partnerships between Paradigm and NJBIA have worked so well is because NJBIA has a ginormous membership, right? You guys are the largest membership association in the entire country.
Yep.
So you have how many members? I think I forget how many members, but I just know it's an insane number.
It is. It's an insane number. I think we're at like 10,000 now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So you guys have a massive membership where we have the experience of virtual events and we have the experience of marketing. So it was a nice, easy blend to say, hey, listen, let's take our strength, let's take your strengths and combine them. Together, we were able to find the right speakers, right? Because again, we all know different people in different places. And different target subject matter experts that we've been able to tap into for different events. And I have to say, personally, my own happiness part of this is through the collaboration partnerships that we've had. I've had the opportunity to chair and co-chair some of your committees through NJBIA, which have been tremendous for my business. You know, as co-chair of the Women's Leaders Council with Roseanne DeTorres from DeTorres and DeGeorge, we've been able to open so many other doors.
It's true. It's funny because you don't think about volunteer work often as a collaboration, but when you have the ability to get in front of an audience as either a subject matter expert or as the person running the show, oh my goodness, it's incredibly powerful. It's incredibly powerful. I'm so glad that that's worked out for you. You've been so well received. The audience loves you.
I know they're going to want to replace me at some point, and I'm cringing the day they want to do that.
I'm going to fight them as long as I can. I'm fighting them off as long as I can. Nobody has said anything yet.
I've been fighting this for a while, and I love it because we have met some amazing people because of it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. The collaboration, you just never know where they're going to pop up. Sometimes out of the unlikeliest of places. In fact, we are working right now on a possible collaboration with a regional chamber in the middle of the state on a holiday networking called the Hobnob. So come on out and hobnob for the holidays.
Okay, that sounds fun. I hope cocktails are involved.
Oh, of course there'll be cocktails involved. But, you know, if we were just doing this on our own, it would be fine. But to collaborate with another organization that's big and strong and has got a whole bunch of members, that way our members meet their members and the cross marketing is there. It's just a no-brainer, right?
And one of the, I would say one of the secrets to our success here is that we're like-minded. We are both motivated to grow our memberships, to support each other. It's not just what's in it for me, what's in it for Paradigm. It's how can we each benefit each other. So when you're looking for partners to collaborate with, it is absolutely critical that they're like-minded. I know in the past there have been collaborations, and I will speak of these in a very high level, where one team is very motivated and one team
will not be disclosed.
No names.
You know, if one of the partners isn't as motivated or enthusiastic, it doesn't work. The whole relationship doesn't have an opportunity to take flight, because if one team's doing all the work and the other one's just reaping the rewards, then and that might not be the intention, but sometimes, you know, things happen. So when you do commit to a collaboration, you need to treat it like it is your job, because it is. You had mentioned volunteer. When you volunteer, you are accepting evaluate the opportunity to make sure that it is a proper visibility platform for you, so you can leverage it properly. Because I've heard people who volunteered for things, I didn't get anything out of it. Well, you didn't do anything with it either.
And you're just showing up and without doing any involvement.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
Working like-minded is absolutely, working with like-minded partners is critical, because you can't drag the other across the finish line.
No.
And and no one is guilty of that here. I've seen it before. It gets disappointing. And then it also says, if you're going to treat our relationship this way, how would you treat a referral that I might send your way? So every
Kate,
touch
I'm sure
point.
you've seen a ton of that through your committees, because you've got so many committees that you've seen probably the whole spectrum of volunteerism.
Oh yeah, and what you are saying is absolutely correct. There is no better way for a relationship to go sideways than for somebody to not take the volunteer role seriously, or for somebody to not take the collaboration, the partnership seriously, and really pull their weight. Because if you're not pulling your weight, not only are you disappointing the other person, but you're putting in their brain a memory. And so the next time that an opportunity arises, you're not going to be top of mind. You're going to be bottom of the line.
Well, you're breaking the trust. You're breaking that trust that Vicki was talking about. If you don't have that trust, that is going to make it so that, you're not going to get the referrals. You're not going to get the introductions. You're not going to get the visibility opportunities, because without that trust factor, it's just not going to work at all. Because now you're putting your own brand and your own reputation on the line.
I always say a brand is a promise that you make. And some people are like, what does that mean? It means exactly that. If you can't deliver, if there's a piece of what you're doing isn't up to the level that you want everybody else to know, you're breaking that brand promise. And then to rebuild that takes 10 times more. It's 10 times harder than just following through on your commitment. And if you can't follow through, it's making sure that you're communicating, here's my challenge and this is what's happening for me.
Yeah. People are incredibly forgiving. If you tell them, listen, I'm in the weeds on something, I'm doing this, I'm doing, like, something happened, of course, people are understanding. But if you just don't communicate and things fall apart, that's not okay. Absolutely not okay.
Not to mention that you're only hurting, not only are you hurting yourself and your brand, but if you're part of a larger team, you're impacting the relationship for everybody else in the organization, because the brand is not just you as the individual that's showing up or not showing up, but it's the organization that you're working with. So one of the biggest things to do is when you are collaborating and you are volunteering for something and you're trying to get that partnership going, is remembering that it does affect not just you, but it's pretty much everyone on that team, right? You're representing that brand.
And I know that we talk a lot about branding in theory, and branding products and branding events and branding organizations. It can be easy to forget that we each are a brand. We create our own personal brand every single day based on how we show up for work, how we show up for our coworkers, our bosses, the people that we work with. It's brand. You are a brand, and you have to decide how you're going to show up every single day.
Preach, sister, preach. That is exactly, when somebody hires you, they're hiring you because of you're bringing your brand to the table, how you present yourself, how you follow through. 100%.
And people sometimes forget that when you're talking collaboration, yes, it is the exposure, and the goal is always to get business, right? Especially if you're in sales, the goal is to get business, but it's also to increase new ideas and to just have creativity, because not for nothing, but sometimes when you're hanging out with the same people, you tend to have similar thoughts, right? Because that's probably why you're getting along. You're all thinking in the same sort of way. Yeah, you're like-minded individuals.
Totally.
But it's really refreshing to be in a group that is completely different or used to doing things in a very different way, to see a completely new perspective, to see a whole new set of ideas that you maybe not, are used to, that you're going to try and experiment, that might end up being some of the best things that you've thought of. So,
and I have to say, there's a difference between formal collaboration and informal collaboration, and bouncing ideas off of people that you trust in a collaborative way. We're not planning an event. We're not putting on an event. We're not doing let's just brainstorm for a second about a problem that I'm having. There is no more powerful collaboration than that.
Absolutely.
Another preach. That's amazing. 2 preaches, Autumn, in one.
You're totally right. And I mean, we are not in the business, at Paradigm, we are not running in-person events like you guys do at NJBIA. And listen, that is a whole nother set of headaches all on it in and of itself. So you
Preach.
rely a lot on collaboration. Yeah, and I know you're preparing for one that's coming up in a little bit, but you guys are relying a lot on the collaboration. You rely on the volunteers. As part of the co-chair of the Women Business Leaders Council, we've been prepping for the Women's Business Forum that you guys have coming up. There's a ton of work that is involved with that. You've got folks coming in from every single angle. So without the collaboration of the volunteers and the collaboration of the partners that are involved in the marketing pieces and everything else, that event would not be able to take place.
No, you're absolutely correct.
I want to be mindful. I hate to cut us off, ladies, but we didn't even finish all of our topic, and we're coming to the end of our show where we're talking about our events. We didn't even get to discuss sponsorship and the benefits of it.
Oh
but I think it lends to the fact that collaboration is so powerful that there's a lot to discuss around it. But definitely,
because remember, we're here every single Friday now, so we're going to.
Well, now we're back. We did take a little summer hiatus. Yes, we do have a couple dates though. Next week we are not We are not here because Paradigm is having their in-person. We are a virtual company. We're having our in-person training, and then on the 30th I won't be able to be here because I'll be at an in-person event. We'll be there. So we
yeah.
One more. Pardon me. We're going to be here on the 23rd, and then back again in October.
Yeah, the 30th is the day after our big event, and I will be MIA.
You will be in recovery.
100% horizontal. I will be.
You will be in recovery, and Lorena and I will be at the Morris County Chamber Women in Business Luncheon. Right. So, you might be in traction at that point. So we will be here on the 23rd, but we want to talk about, and I think we should definitely pick up sponsorship in our next conversation because there's a lot to talk about sponsorship, getting in front of a room and showing and talking about your smarts and never selling is such an amazing strategy.
Oh my God. 100%.
Without a doubt. So we're going to have to pick that up. But Kate, since this is a great tie-in to your fabulous event that you have coming up that you will need to be in traction for, which, by the way, I was just at an event this morning and they were talking about your event.
No.
So, yes.
Were they?
Yes, they were. It was brought up. They're like, what events do we need to be at? And someone and it wasn't even me, shamelessly shouted out NJBIA's Women's Business Leadership Conference.
That's amazing.
So you need to tell us about that.
Okay, well, it is the 8th annual New Jersey Women Business Leaders Forum powered by NJBIA. After 2 years of being virtual, which was really, really sad, we are coming back so strong. Atlantic City, we're going to be at Caesars September 28th and 29th, which is a Wednesday, Thursday. It's going to be amazing. We've got like 10 breakout sessions. We have a cocktail reception at Nero's Steakhouse. We're going to have a champagne toast to kick everything off. We've got networking peppered all the way through the whole thing. It's going to be freaking amazing. TED Talks. And I just don't even know what else. I'm so, so excited. I can't even wait.
And I put the registration link for that event on the comment section because if you have not yet registered, you absolutely need to get on that.
You should. Yeah.
Excellent. So we're excited for you. Lorena, you want to tell us what's happening?
We actually have a few events. I'm actually going to put 2 links on here. The first one I'm going to talk about is going to be Table for 4, which is our virtual networking. And again, that is in collaboration with NJBIA. That's coming up on September 26th. So we don't have to leave the house. You can do it right from the comfort of your office or your home if you're working virtually from home. And it happens on the 4th Monday of every month at noon. And it's only from 12 to 1. You'll be in a room with 4 other folks. So it's only 4 people to a virtual room. And you get the opportunity to really get to know each other in more than just a 90-second introduction. You get, give or take, about 4 minutes to really share a success story, share why you're there, share a win, share why you're actually looking to connect with other like-minded business professionals. And again, that is happening on the 26th. So I will put the registration link for that.
And do you know what landmark thing is happening on the 26th for Table for 4?
Is it is it? No.
It is our 100th.
Oh my God.
100 going strong. We are attracting
it's amazing.
Anywhere from 40 to 60 professionals. So we are having, it is our 100th event. And I am so proud of us because we started out, this was born out of the idea a week after the pandemic shut down. We were up and running, and here we are celebrating our 100th event. So,
and can I tell you, I get a meaningful connection every single time I go. Every single time I go, I walk away with a really, really good, meaningful connection, at least when it's amazing.
It's awesome.
Can I get a testimonial preach?
Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Woo, woo. People are so much more relaxed when they don't have to sit in traffic and go somewhere, and you can just still network without having.
We always talk about this.
Yeah.
Undeniable efficiencies.
Absolutely.
Listen, I know so many people are zoomed out. They're not interested in it anymore. But this is a great way to have those starter conversations. And then you decide, does this make sense for us to go have lunch, go have coffee, go meet for drinks? And, and elevate it to the next level. It's a great way to qualify your network.
And to be fair, for people who are freaked out by large rooms in person or on Zoom,
still are, and I respect
and I respect it. It's 4 people. The big room is just for the announcements, and then Lorena puts us into little breakout rooms full of just
breakout tables. Table for
4. 4 people in a room, including you. So only 3 new people. So it's not like scary or weird. It's very low key. It's very easy. Don't stress about it if that's stressing you out.
And we do double table talks, which means at the end, you're actually leaving meeting six like-minded people, maybe some people that you've known before and that you're learning something new. I will tell you a very quick little snippet is, I am friends with Debbie Wolpov from Merck's Payments, and I've known her for years. And then she said something to me, and I had just met somebody. And after 10 years, I was able to make I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense, because we're constantly meeting people. So even if you're in a room with somebody that you've known, they may say something that triggers somebody that you just met, or oh, you need to meet this person. Yeah. Magic happens like that all the time if you're open and receptive to it. So, whether you're meeting new people or you've stumbled upon some familiar faces, it's where it's been an amazing springboard. I personally have closed hundreds of thousands of dollars of business from Table for 4, and it's been an amazing experience. So thank you, Kate, for your testimonial. And then
we also have the business growth, right? The business growth event next week.
Yep,
that's next Tuesday at 12 noon. So instead of every third Tuesday, it's every second Tuesday now in our business growth series, our business growth roundtable. And this one's going to be great because we're having a panel discussion this time with our founder, Rachel Durkin, with Donna Miller from C3 Workplace, with Laura Carruthers Osborne from Osborne Consulting. And we're going to be talking about what's happening we're heading into some uncertain times, no matter where you are, whether your business is experiencing a recession or not, we are heading towards something unusual, and whatever that might be. So it's about preparing for that. So please join us. We'll drop the link. It's the Business Growth Roundtable, which will be on Tuesday at 12 noon. We're doing a panel discussion about how to navigate uncertain times for your business. It feels like we just came out of uncertain times. We should be pros at this already. But each time brings a new set of new
uncertainties. Yeah, just new levels of uncertainties. But this is
new levels of uncertainty. And then my final pitch my final share would be that we moved R&R, Reconnect, Network, and Refuel to September 30th, which is on the tail end of the Women in Business event. So if you're going to the Women in Business event at the Morris County Chamber, follow us over to Town Bar and Kitchen in Morristown. R&R, Reconnect, Network, Refuel. We always talk about the tenets of people work with who they like, know, and trust. And nothing gets those things happening more than just sitting back, having a cocktail. I always say, bring your business cards. Don't bring your business cards. It is up to you. This is not about passing business cards. Right. This is about fortifying and forging relationships. So it is at Town Bar and Kitchen in Morristown, right across from the Morristown train station, from 4 to 6 on Friday, September 30th. And then in October, we start again on the third Friday of every month, so that it stays consistent. We're kind of navigating our training, and we wanted to hop on the magic carpet of the Morris County Chamber with their event and really bring everybody
Oh,
together.
that's incredible.
So if you are in the area, it's from 4 to 6 so that you have your whole Friday night. So
Yep.
we're not trying to
With
take
that-
anything away from you. We're
With that,
encouraging
we're closing it out. We've reached our 30 minutes and we're trying to be mindful of our time for everyone. Just remember that all of the events that we talked about are posted in the comments. However, you can always go to NJBIA's website, or you can go to Paradigm Marketing and Design. Under the events tab, you will see a listing of all the great events that we have just talked about, because there are so many to choose from. There's also tons of download tools that you can find both on NJBIA and on Paradigm's website. In particular, we have one called Increasing Profit with Partnership Marketing, which is everything that we talked about today. So if you want to learn more, please make sure you check that out on our website.
You
And
tied
with
that
that,
in like a seamstress. You were amazing.
and with that, we're going to bid you all farewell. We hope to see you again, not next Friday, but the Friday after that, which is the 23rd,
Friday the 23rd
at 11 a.m.
Join us for the pipeline, opening doors and closing business.
I love it.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.